Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's Hot 97. My name is Peter Rosenberg, the lovely K Fox.
Hi.
Our guest today, and it is WrestleMania season. We have WWE superstar David Otunga in the house. However,
What's up? What's up?
today's movie star David Otunga.
Today I'm movie star David Otunga.
Because Friday, what hits theaters?
The Call, my new movie starring Halle Berry,
Ooh.
and of course myself.
Wait, do you guys have a scene together?
We do.
Like a love scene together?
Well, no.
Oh.
I mean, I don't know.
Why you gotta ruin it?
I mean, I don't know. Like, you know, she was looking at me with those eyes, so that may be what was going on in her
So it
head.
felt
in
love.
her head.
I felt the love. Yeah, definitely.
Wait, but you're not the love interest. You're
No.
you're a cop.
I'm a cop. Yeah.
So you're a cop in the movie.
Mhm.
You're a lawyer by trade.
Yep.
God, you are
A criminal lawyer.
Criminal lawyer
and professional wrestler
and professional wrestler.
and former reality show D-bag in
Yeah.
your heyday.
Yeah, pretty much. Yes.
See, the reality show kind of discredits everything that you are now.
Oh, what?
Oh.
It does. Because of where you started with the reality show trying to get with New York.
Ooh, I did forget about that
I
part.
watched the show. I was entertained. And she nicknamed you Punk.
Yeah.
I was
know.
like, why would a man sit there on television and allow this woman to call him Punk?
Well, and they edited a lot of that out. Like, that was a big issue with me because when we went there, my nickname was supposed to be Mr. Harvard. That's what the producer said and everything. We get up there, and you know how she gives everybody the nicknames? She didn't give anybody any nicknames before that. It was whatever they suggested. And so they told her, hey, you got to get, hand some out. So she's like, oh, this guy, he's great. He went to Harvard. He's the smartest guy here, the best looking. I was going to call him Punk. What? And then, so that was one of the first things that I approached her about. They almost sent me home on the first day. Her and I got into it. But then when you watch the show back, they don't even show that part.
It looks like you were just fine with it.
Yeah.
Like, Punk, yay.
Oh, they almost sent me home over that.
Wow.
Okay, can you give us the quick timeline of David Otunga's career? Because I don't see where all this stuff happens. This is a lot to get in the last 10 years. Quick timeline of Harvard, a reality show, meeting Jennifer Hudson, who's his fiance, of course, and WWE superstar turned actor. How do we do that?
Okay, so graduated from Harvard Law School, got a job at the top firm in Chicago. It's actually the one that Barack and Michelle Obama worked at, where they met. This is the interesting part. I'm working there at the firm. One day I get a call on my cell phone about, from a casting director from VH1. They want me to come in and interview for the show, and I'm like, but wait, how did you get my phone number? Like, well, we have your profile right here in front of us. I was like, I didn't send in any profile. Trying to figure this out. Turns out my niece, who was 13 at the time and is profoundly autistic, like with mutism, she can't even talk. She typed up a profile, pretending to be me, sent it into a casting director. They got it. They loved it. And now they're hitting me up to come on the show.
You're kidding.
Wow.
So this is how I got on.
She may need to be your PR.
Yeah, I need to hire her.
So they're telling me, we really want you on this show, and I'm like, oh my gosh,
And you didn't have previous aspirations?
Well, that's the thing, is I did. I always wanted to get into entertainment, but not reality
So you
TV.
were already jacked up.
I was a bodybuilder and everything, and I always wanted to get into acting, like action movies. So I was always preparing for that. I've been in acting classes, hitting the gym. But then when this came, they told me, they're like, if you ever want to do anything in entertainment, this is a great, first step. It's like, I don't know. But it just happened so organically and came it was just so strange. It was like, well, I'll give it a shot. And I went on there and I enjoyed it for what it was. And in my opinion, that was my first Academy Award-winning performance.
Acting like you like New York.
Yeah, because everybody there for sure, oh my gosh, you loved her. You were really in love with her. I'm like, yeah, sure I was. Well,
of course.
Well, but I mean, that did kind of lead you to the love of your life, right?
You know what? Absolutely, it did. And that's what I always tell people. Is like, people think that, I'm ashamed if I love New York or something. I love that show. Everything I have today is because of that, to be honest with you.
That is unbelievable.
Jennifer was watching that show, and that's how she saw me. And then it ended up being, I did an interview for that show following it, and one of the guys I did the interview with, he introduced us.
Wow.
Yeah.
So did she say, I want to meet that guy? Like, did she let people know?
I think she did put it out there, actually. Well, I don't know. She said that she told a couple people, and it was like, if it happens, it happens. And then turns out we lived in the same neighborhood, just like 2 minutes apart. At the same, and didn't even know
in
it.
Chicago.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
So like the
So
first
then,
time.
so you met Jennifer because of that, and then how did the WWE come to be? And were you always into wrestling?
Yeah, I was always into wrestling too. And so after I did the show, I was like, well, you know what? I could go back to the firm, but I think this could be my chance to get into entertainment. So I left the law firm, and I set my sights on WWE. I started calling around different wrestling schools and trying to get in. eventually I got an audition right with WWE, and they sent me to the developmental system. I trained down there for like a year and a half.
You went to Florida.
FCW.
This is post OVW.
Right.
Okay, you guys are speaking a different language.
It's the developmental system of WWE. But okay, so you went to Florida Championship.
I went to Florida. Was down there for like 14 months, and they brought me up on TV on NXT, and I've been there ever since.
And your wrestling name is David?
It's David Otunga.
And what kind of last name is Otunga?
It's Kenyan.
Oh, see, I knew it was African.
You're related to Barack. Chicago, Kenyan. And I'm sure you. And have you met the president and the first lady?
Many times.
Many times. Wow. They're fans of your wife, right?
That's true, and I say that because
not to say they're not fans of you. I'm sure they love Raw also.
Oh, I know they do.
Of course.
But going to Harvard Law School, that's where Obama went too. So I met him there before he was even the president. He's still a senator, and we worked at the same firm, not at the same time, but he came there to speak too. So I'd met him a few times before he was even president.
Did you? By the time he was president, okay, let me put it this way: does he know you by sight and name at this point?
Yes.
Really?
He'll call you like David.
Well, I mean,
he gets prepped for that regardless. He knows who he's going to be seeing regardless. Mm-hmm. But you think he sincerely, when he sees you, knows that's David. That's Jennifer Hudson's boy guy. I know him. He's from Harvard. I know that.
I would think I stand out pretty much, especially because there aren't too many Harvard-educated lawyers who are wrestlers and actors now.
Touche.
Well, and the husband of a phenomenal singer and actress.
That too.
I've got to ask you this. I know that you are definitely into your physical appearance. Mm-hmm. And Jennifer, she was struggling with her weight for a little bit. Were you a part of her weight loss? Like, were you like, babe, let's do this together? Because she looks amazing right now.
Well, thank you. Well, you know what? I got to give her all the credit, to be honest with you. I'm just super proud of her. I mean, we've always been really health conscious, and we used to work out together all the time. And so we decided to get fit together. And after the baby, I was there encouraging her. I'd go on walks with her and do cardio. I hate doing cardio. But, that was her thing, so I would do it with her. And, I just tried to support her. But really, all the credit goes to her. She did all the work.
Of course.
Were you ever any concerns about her getting too thin? Men, we do have that worry sometimes. You're like, babe, you need to chill out. We like
actually, yeah. Because I mean, the weight just came off so easily, and it's still coming off. But now she's at this level where she's trying to maintain, and she eats a lot of junk food actually to try to keep size on, which is, I mean, that's a great problem to have. So
I'll take it. That's a great problem to have. But you make sure every once in a while you slip her a little bit. Sometimes with the chick, if she's losing too much weight, you got to pour some extra sugar in the Kool-Aid. You know what I mean? Now
spike it.
You got to spike it a little bit. I wanna get back to the movie and big that up again. Again, it comes out Friday. It's called The Call with Halle Berry. We're talking to David Otunga, WWE superstar. I want to ask you about something somewhat serious, just because I thought about you a lot when this happened. Because I'm a huge wrestling fan. I interview everyone, and I follow everything that's happening. And I remember when Jennifer's family's trial was last year, and you missed time, and you were gone. On a totally different level, I sympathize, as my wife lost her brother a couple years ago, and going through that experience with her family is incredibly difficult. It's not something you think about being difficult at the time because your biggest concern is caretaking others.
Yeah.
But every once in a while, when you stop and look around yourself, I'm guessing there was a time when it was very, I'm sure, a huge toll on you. And I just want to know what that experience was like for you, trying to support someone who went through something that was really one of the worst stories you could ever imagine. What was that like for you?
I mean, it was really tough. But, like you said, like during that time, all I tried to do, all my focus was supporting her and the family, just being there for them. And then it's like, after a while, like you start to realize, like, wow, this is really hard. But you can't let it affect you. You just have to be strong. I mean, it's just the worst thing imaginable, and you never know what you can get through until God puts you in the position.
As a criminal lawyer, did you feel like you needed to go up there and represent and prosecute this guy?
There
at times,
have been moments in court.
No, there really was, and that's the thing is like, given my criminal law background, like I felt like I could be such an asset to the family to be able to sit there in court every day and kind of tell them what was going on. Like I never missed a testimony. I never missed 1 second of the trial. Because there's a lot of times that like when they had the gruesome crime scene photos and stuff, like obviously we had the family step out, but I made sure. As hard as it was,
you stayed through all that.
Yeah, as hard as it was for me to look at it, it was like I think I owe it to them to be able to sit here and tell them exactly what's going on so I can report to them so we don't miss anything. But yeah, during the trial, like there's plenty of time. There's a couple times even, and like they would say something. I was like, objection, objection, under my breath, like unconsciously. And they heard me, the prosecutor, objection.
Wow.
It was like, wow. And Jennifer and I elbowed each other, like, wow, yeah. She's like, good job.
Now, did I because my timeline's a little bit off, but I'm pretty sure I'm right about this. You knew him also, right? Did you know him somewhat, or was he already a weird?
He was already on the outs.
Okay.
So like, yeah, I knew of him, and I knew that like the family didn't agree with him at all. They didn't get along with him, and so he was kind of a fringe character who wasn't around too much.
Were you? I will move past this, but were you with Jennifer when she found out, or did you get a phone call from her?
Actually, I was with her, and man, this is hard. She was supposed to be at her mom's house that day when this happened, and she told me before. She's like, you're my saving grace, my angel, because I had asked her to come to Tampa with me down to FCW, and so she did that weekend. And had I not have brought her down, she would have been in that house and likely wouldn't be here today.
Oh my God.
Oh wow, I didn't even know that part.
What? So to resolve this whole thing, so the guy,
what did he end up getting? What did his sentence end up being?
He
what was
got
his conviction?
like, it was one of the highest sentences in Illinois history because we don't have the death penalty. He got like upwards of 400 years. Or
Wow,
something like that. Ridiculously high, which is exactly what he gets, and it's still not even enough.
Yeah. Not enough, but hey, at least nice to hear when you get one of the highest sentences of all time. At least that's All right, on to a more positive note. This is how much more acting are we going to see from David Otunga besides the fine work that you do, of course, on Monday nights? What else? What else can we expect from you? Is this a direction you want to go?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like I said, this was a dream I've had since I was a kid. Like I wanted to be an actor, get into action movies, dramatic movies. I've been taking acting classes for years, all the way through law school, even through WWE. We only get a few days off a week, but I make time to go to acting class every week in Chicago. So when I got the opportunity for this role, I was beyond prepared for it. And
your acting definitely helped you with WWE because at the time when you were getting your biggest push so far, you hadn't, truth be told, you hadn't probably done enough in-ring work yet to be getting that push.
Yeah.
But your on-mic work was so good. Like, I've seen you on mic way more than, frankly, I've seen you in-ring, which I'm sure.
Wait. On mic means
like acting or doing promos, just speaking or talking.
So backstage they'll be showing
not the
him
actual wrestling
but not
in
wrestling.
the ring.
Or he'll come to the ring, but he'll grab the microphone and talk.
Like talk-ish. Are you a bad guy or a good guy?
Well, I mean, I think I'm a good guy, but
so he's one
the
of the
crowd,
good guys.
the crowd thinks I'm a bad guy.
A tweener?
You're kind of a tweener, though, aren't
you?
No, I'm a heel, I guess. He's a bad guy.
I'm technically a bad guy, but like my character would never say that. Like he thinks he's the best guy in the world. Yeah.
But bad guys, they seem to have the most fun, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
It's fun for me because I consider myself a pretty, kind and good guy in person in real life. So to play a character that's the opposite, it's fun.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, and what makes him a great wrestler is he does understand any true heel always believes that his actions are warranted and just.
Okay. Exactly.
And David Otunga feels that way. The movie is called The Call. It's in theaters on Friday. Seems like a good dude, man. Congratulations. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it, bro.